Amid the Egyptian desert, where the ancient pyramids stand like silent guardians, a mysterious and haunting discovery has emerged from the sands of time. Deep within a long-forgotten tomb, archaeologists have unearthed a 5,000-year-old book, its fragile pages whispering secrets lost to history. This ancient artifact, carefully revealed by daring explorers, offers more than just a glimpse into the past. It presents a deep revelation that shakes the foundations of our knowledge about humanity's origins. What secrets lie within the pages of this 5,000-year-old book? What messages does it hold that echo through the corridors of time? Join us as we explore the 5,000-year-old book found in Egypt and the horrifying message it revealed about humanity. The Mysterious Man. Enoch, a captivating figure from the Bible, achieved what few others could, succeeding over death itself. His story is steeped in interest and continues to captivate audiences. According to biblical accounts, Enoch was so righteous that he walked with God and was taken directly to heaven without experiencing death, making him one of the few people in history to achieve such a fate. Much assumption surrounds his mysterious disappearance, as there is no documented evidence of the supernatural occurrence. His life was brief, yet remarkably strange, centered on his selfless dedication to serving God. In a rare turn of events, God chose to take him away instead of passing away naturally, illustrating his exceptional favor in divine eyes. Up until this point, Enoch's life appeared to revolve solely around his faithful service to God. He is mentioned in the Old Testament, specifically in Genesis chapter 5, verse 18, distinguishing himself from others with similar names like Hanok, Henoch, and Hanok. Enoch was born to his father Jared at the age of 162, tracing his lineage back to Adam himself. Enoch was the father of Methuselah, who holds the record for being the longest living person mentioned in the Bible, living to the age of 969. Throughout his life, Enoch was known not only for his prolific family, but also for his profound spiritual journey. According to ancient texts outside the Bible, such as the Book of Enoch, he is illustrated as a figure who received divine revelations and knowledge about the workings of the universe. This portrayal adds an extra layer to his character, portraying him not just as a leader but also as a visionary and a messenger of God. Enoch's lineage traces back to the 7th generation from Adam, making him a key figure in early biblical genealogy. His name, Enoch, is derived from Hebrew roots meaning dedicated or trained, reflecting his perceived role as someone specially chosen by God for a significant purpose. Enoch's story is intertwined with themes of righteousness and divine favor. He is described as someone who walked with God, indicating a close and intimate relationship with the divine. This closeness is underscored in traditions where he is believed to have been taken directly to heaven without experiencing death, a rare occurrence in biblical narratives. His absence from the mortal realm became a subject of passion and assumption among ancient interpreters, leading to various legends and interpretations about his fate. Enoch's life has been a subject of serious desire among scholars and spiritual leaders. Born into a time marked by corruption, hate, and evil, his story has captured imaginations across generations. Some believe that Enoch's relentless commitment to God led to his unique fate, but opinions differ on the specifics of his lifespan. Enoch's existence remains veiled in mystery, with scant details available about his remarkable deeds. Among his numerous children, one stands out, adding an interesting layer to his perplexing identity. Despite the absence of detailed accounts of his daily life, his steadfast devotion to God echoes through biblical records. Living a remarkable 365 years, Enoch defied the bounds of mortality. The circumstances of his departure from this world remain undisclosed, contributing to the mystery surrounding his story. According to certain interpretations, Enoch's journey from earth to the kingdom of God while still alive suggests he received extraordinary favor, the ancient Book of Enoch. In a remarkable discovery, a 5,000-year-old book found in Egypt, known as the Book of Enoch, sheds light on serious aspects of human spirituality. According to ancient texts, Enoch's journey to heaven wasn't a singular event, but occurred multiple times, as chronicled in chapter 64. Before each ascent, Enoch gathered a community, imparting teachings on fidelity, humility, truth, and hope, virtues crucial for walking in God's path. Enoch's celestial encounters captivated his contemporaries. Over 2,000 witnesses reportedly observed his ascents, viewing him as a bridge between humanity and the divine. His role as a revered figure symbolizing God's grandeur was unparalleled, particularly contrasting with other cultures' more tangible connections to their gods. Amidst the backdrop of his era, where societies sought tangible connections with their deities, Enoch's unwavering spiritual commitment stood out. His genuine influence extended to key moments in history, such as during the time of the Great Flood. Alongside his brothers, Enoch erected altars for worship and offerings, demonstrating his devotion to divine principles. During one notable sacrifice, as Enoch presented his offering to the Lord, witnesses recounted a miraculous occurrence. The altar trembled, and a knife appeared in his hand, confirming his divine favor. Methuselah passed down a tradition of prophecy that extended through generations, including his son and other prominent figures from the Old Testament. His son, after being seized by visions of an awful flood foreseen by God, continued the lineage of prophecy. Following Methuselah's death, his wife Sanim, despite her advanced age, miraculously conceived and gave birth to a child. However, she tragically died shortly after childbirth, leaving behind the child, Melchizedek, who was found mysteriously fully grown and dressed near her burial site. This unusual circumstance marked Melchizedek as a significant figure believed to embody God's restoration of a sacred lineage. Melchizedek's arrival was seen as providential, with his appearance symbolizing a divine plan unfolding. After spending 40 days with his father, Melchizedek was reportedly taken to heaven by the archangel Michael under God's direct orders. This event, described as a celestial affirmation of Melchizedek's special status as God's chosen, underscored the serious spiritual significance attributed to him. In the absence of effective prophetic guidance following the deaths of Methuselah's descendants, including his son Nia, Methuselah himself foresaw a looming crisis. He prophesied a future of impending doom, emphasizing the urgent need for spiritual leadership to guide the people. This foresight ended in the necessity to construct the Ark, a key event believed to have been ordained by divine providence to safeguard humanity from the impending disaster. After extensive research into Enoch's life, a collaboration of researchers and religious leaders uncovered a significant discovery. The 5,000-year-old book, known as the Book of Enoch, was unearthed in Egypt and has sparked passion due to its mysterious contents. Beyond its surface, the manuscript suggests deeper mysteries, including a cryptic prophecy foretelling dire warnings about human existence. Enoch, revered as a pre-flood prophet and one of humanity's earliest figures, not only contributed to the development of writing, but also laid the groundwork for documenting human history. Enoch's influence extends to the creation of several ancient manuscripts that remain untranslated to this day, dating back to his era. It is widely believed that Enoch himself, or someone within his lineage, authored the Book of Enoch, a pivotal text among various pseudepigraphic works attributed to him. These include texts found in the Sef Ha collection, such as Hayot Rabbati, Hayot Sef Hanak, and Hai Hanak, which are considered integral parts of the Book of Enoch. The discovery of this ancient manuscript caused a stir, prompting numerous headlines that highlighted its prophetic warnings about human life. Subsequent scholarly studies have begun to unravel the potential significance of its obscure phrases, suggesting they may hold insights into future events or moral teachings relevant to modern society. Many Christians believe that Elijah was the only prophet who defeated death and that Jesus died and rose again to redeem our sins. However, there is another compelling belief about Enoch's extraordinary departure from earth. It's said that God lovingly welcomed him into heaven without experiencing mortal death. This story of Enoch has inspired countless generations since then, offering a genuine example of divine grace and the possibility of a transcendent journey beyond earthly life. The ancient wisdom and controversy. Scholars categorize the Book of Enoch into 5 distinct parts: the Book of Watchers, the Book of Parables, the Book of Luminaries, the Book of Dreams, and the Epistle. Throughout history, numerous authors and church leaders have translated and interpreted these texts, sparking considerable debate. One major point of contention revolves around whether Christians and other believers should consider the Book of Enoch as part of the Bible. During its translation into various languages, differences from traditional Orthodox beliefs and practices have often surfaced, despite claims of divine inspiration. This separation has led some to dismiss the Book of Enoch as unworthy of further study, fearing it could confuse believers and alter biblical teachings due to its rich use of imagery and symbolism, which are open to misinterpretation. Despite these reservations, Ethiopia has taken significant steps to preserve this sacred text, particularly focusing on its concluding sections. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church stands atop a hill in Ethiopia, constructed entirely from naturally carved stones, carefully fashioned into a complex structure. It features intricately designed doors, windows, staircases, and walls adorned with remarkable literary inscriptions. With a membership exceeding 45 million, it ranks among the largest churches globally. Historic sites associated with the church have seen modern additions, many of which are accessible to the public. Notably, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church is renowned for housing ancient spiritual manuscripts and publications that remain largely unavailable elsewhere in the world. Some of these texts, including the Book of Enoch and the Jubilees discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls, have been translated into English, aiming to compile a comprehensive Ethiopian Orthodox Bible. The writings of Enoch were banned by church authorities in the 2nd century and thereafter faded into obscurity. It wasn't until 1773 that James Bruce rediscovered manuscripts of the Book of Enoch, shedding new light on its influence on early Christianity and its evolution through the Middle Ages, illustrating its deep impact on Judaic traditions. In 1821, Richard Lawrence embarked on the translation of ancient manuscripts attributed to James Bruce. These texts included not only Greek antiquities, but also writings from early Christians. Among the most notable discoveries were the divisions within these manuscripts: the Book of Watchers, detailing celestial visions and divine revelations; the Book of Dreams, offering insights into prophetic visions; the Astronomical Book, containing ancient cosmological knowledge; and the Epistle of Enoch. These texts collectively form what is known as the Book of Enoch, with additional sections identified as the Parables of Enoch, recognized for their anthropological insights and moral teachings. The revelation of these manuscripts caused a serious stir among European intellectuals and Christians alike, sparking debates about their historical significance and theological implications. Forbidden knowledge to divine revelations. Robert Henry Charles published his translated version of the Book of Enoch in 1906, which is now widely recognized as the most comprehensive and accurate rendition of this ancient text. This translation not only simplifies the language, but also includes a detailed and well-crafted overview of Enoch's history, commentary on its significance, and thematic divisions. The Book of Enoch, as translated by Charles, is divided into 5 main sections: an introduction, the prophecy of the final days, a book on the courses of celestial lights, the history of Israel's descendants, and 10 periods of human history. Charles structured the translation into parts to facilitate understanding of its various themes, including cosmology, religion, and ancient history. Since its initial publication, several versions of Charles's translation have been released, some revised, updated, simplified, or annotated. It is considered one of the most important apocalyptic texts dating back to the Second Temple period. Scholars have noted that had it has been widely accepted into the Protestant Bible, it might have been included in the sequence between the Old Testament Apocrypha and the New Testament. According to researcher Joseph Haley, the Book of Enoch was originally written in Aramaic. Charles suggested that portions of it were also composed in a mix of Hebrew and Aramaic, based on ancient accounts passed down through many generations after Enoch. Ethiopian Jews hold a deep-rooted belief that they are descendants of Enoch. This belief is intertwined with the legendary visit of the wealthy Queen Sheba to Enoch's great-great-grandson, King Solomon, as described in the Old Testament. Queen Sheba journeyed to Jerusalem with a caravan laden with spices, gold, and precious stones. She claimed that one reason for her lavish gifts to the young king was her admiration for his ancestors, whom she had heard about despite never meeting Solomon or his father, King David. Recognizing Solomon's heritage and wisdom, the Arabian queen praised the God they both worshipped. Her gifts, including 120 talents of gold, were the most abundant during Solomon's reign. Her visit and the exchange of gifts and knowledge became a legendary tale of mutual respect and diplomacy. Receiving praise and gifts from someone as powerful and influential as Queen Sheba was unprecedented and highlighted Solomon's growing reputation. Historical records and archaeological findings suggest that Sheba's kingdom, possibly located in present-day Yemen or Ethiopia, was a major center of trade and culture, further emphasizing the significance of her visit. Scholars have made several attempts to determine the language spoken by the Jews during Enoch's time. However, like all languages, Hebrew and Aramaic have evolved over centuries, making it challenging to draw definitive conclusions. Some indications suggest that ancient Hebrew or Aramaic might have been spoken during that era. Some translations of the texts require expertise in Greek. Scholar Richard Buckham believes that because these texts were written during the construction of the Second Temple, people with deep knowledge of Judaism might be able to trace their origins. Besides the discovery of the Book of Enoch in Egypt, fragments of Greek translations were also found in Qumran Cave 4. These texts were originally written in ancient Aramaic, a language considered sacred by some. However, it's important to remember that before 1947, when the actual texts were found near the Dead Sea, these fragments weren't seen as particularly significant and didn't provide precise information. These scrolls, also known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, document the historical, religious, and cultural life of the time, shedding light on the development of Christianity and ancient Judaism. When these scrolls were discovered, many people believed that nothing good would come from the lost Book of the King. The discovery of the 5,000-year-old book in Egypt was thought to reveal something terrifying about human life. Charles praised the published book for offering readers a comprehensive understanding of its contents. The first section, known as the Book of the Watchers, details Enoch's blessings, the divine vision he received from God, and his profound insights into the universe, including the stars, the sun, the changing seasons, and the interconnected parts of the earth. Enoch also delves into the peculiar species on earth, believed to be the result of unions between fallen angels and human women, exploring the consequences of these interactions. The second book of Enoch's writings unfolds with 3 parables imparted to him, while the third volume delves into astrology and the expansive cosmic realm. In his fourth book, Enoch recounts 2 separate visions of impending catastrophes, each occurring 52 years apart. The final book centers on Enoch's epistle and his dissemination of these visions to his brethren, urging them toward repentance. Notably, a dedicated section of the book imparts wisdom to his son Methuselah, instructing him to lead a life guided by divine principles. In Chapter 7 of the Book of Enoch, a vivid narrative unfolds where Enoch distinguishes between the angels who remained in their heavenly splendor and those who fell, bringing chaos and sin to earth. He portrays the rebellious watchers as both majestic and fearsome figures who turned away from God to follow their leader, known as Satan. Earlier in Chapter 6, echoing themes from Genesis, Enoch describes fallen angels descending to earth and taking human women as wives, resulting in the birth of extraordinary beings like giants and powerful Nephilim. These unions were said to have brought about a time of deformity and great strength among their offspring. The text also details how these fallen angels imparted forbidden knowledge to humanity, teaching them magic and rituals that were considered wicked. Among these beings, Azazel stands out, a figure resembling a demonic goat-like creature in Aramaic lore, reminiscent of the scapegoat tradition in Jewish culture. This ritual involves symbolically placing the sins of the Israelites on a goat and casting it from a mountain during the Day of Atonement, signifying both divine forgiveness and human repentance. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the heart of Egypt, beneath the sands of an ancient, forgotten pyramid, archaeologists stumbled upon a hidden chamber. Within, they found a book bound in aged leather, its cover inscribed with hieroglyphs that hadn't been seen for millennia. Dr. Amina Khaled, leading the excavation, carefully opened the fragile pages. The text within was a cryptic mixture of prophecy and warning. As her team translated the symbols, a horrifying message began to unfold. The book spoke of an ancient civilization that thrived 5,000 years ago, far advanced beyond what historians believed possible. This civilization had unlocked secrets of the universe, only to discover a terrifying truth about human existence. They learned that humanity was not the original inhabitant of Earth, but a creation, a grand experiment by entities from beyond the stars. The purpose of this experiment was to observe the progression of life under controlled conditions, with every human life carefully monitored and manipulated. The final pages detailed the fate of the ancient Egyptians who uncovered this knowledge. A catastrophic plague, natural disasters, and sudden unexplained disappearances, as if some force was erasing evidence of this truth. As Dr. Khaled read the last chilling lines, she realized the message wasn't just a relic of the past, but a dire warning for the present. The book predicted the cycle would begin anew, and those who discovered the truth would face dire consequences. Suddenly, the ground trembled. Dust fell from the chamber ceiling, and a deep, resonant hum filled the air. Dr. Khaled's heart pounded as she realized they had activated something, a mechanism, a response, that had been waiting for millennia. What if the experiment is still ongoing? And what might happen if humanity discovers the truth again? Let us have your opinions in the comment below. Son of Man Mystery. In the New Testament, the mysterious title, Son of Man, is prominently attributed to Jesus Christ, symbolizing not just his humanity, but also his divine mission. This term appears over 80 times in the Gospels, reflecting its significance in portraying Jesus as both the humble Son of humanity and the exalted figure prophesied in Jewish scriptures. Contrary to its New Testament usage, the Book of Enoch sheds light on an ancient Aramaic context where Son of Man carries a broader communal meaning, encompassing all human beings. This term appears in the Book of Enoch as a designation for a righteous messianic figure who will bring judgment and salvation. In Hebrew literature, such as the writings of the prophet Ezekiel, Son of Man is used self-referentially to emphasize human weakness and the deep experience of divine communication. Ezekiel, unlike angels, asserts his mortal origin and earthly nature, thus highlighting his role as a spokesperson for God among his fellow humans. Scholars also note that Jesus Christ's identification as the Son of Man aligns with both the Aramaic and Hebrew connotations, showing his unique role as a divine figure incarnated in human form. This dual nature is crucial in understanding his teachings and the apocalyptic visions where he foretells his return to establish God's kingdom and fulfill the ultimate redemption of humanity. Enoch recounts his journey to the second heaven, where he encountered darkness more deep than any on earth. Within this darkness, angels were imprisoned, awaiting God's judgment. Their cries of misery filled the air as Enoch questioned their identities. They revealed themselves as fallen angels who had defied God, aligning instead with their ruler. These rebels were restricted to the fifth heaven, alongside others who had similarly rebelled. In Enoch's second book, he narrates that these evil observers would face eternal punishment, ensuring they would not escape justice. Moving into the celestial realms, Enoch describes creating a cosmic map known as the heavenly circle or celestial orbit. This map mirrors the curvature of the solar system's path. According to Enoch's account, the topmost circle is named Chrono, followed by Aphrodite in the second position and Ares in the third. The fifth circle is Zeus, the sixth is Hermes, and the seventh is the lower circle where the moon resides. When translated into Greek, these names correspond to the planets Saturn, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Mercury, as described in the Book of Enoch. In Enochian cosmology, these planets are depicted as radiant celestial bodies within a celestial circle. This celestial realm also includes a central space called Suda, which divides it into 3 dimensions. The first dimension is known as perceived space, characterized by its physical existence through location, design, measurements, and arrangement. The second dimension, conceptualized space, is highly abstract and mental. The third dimension holds a significant position that influences all 3 realms, intricately intertwined with history, society, and humanity. Enoch extensively documented his experiences across these dimensions in 3 voyages, demonstrating a vivid and precise understanding of cosmology. He identified God as the unifying force connecting all beings, whether celestial or terrestrial. The Egyptian Book of the Dead. The Egyptian Book of the Dead offers deep insights into the journey through death and the afterlife. It guides people through the Book of 2 Ways, which illustrates how a person's spirit might peacefully transition to the realm of the god of death after their earthly life ends. This ancient text vividly describes 2 paths through the underworld, one traversing land and the other navigating water. According to its teachings, regardless of the route chosen, the soul must confront and overcome formidable challenges such as demons, fiery setbacks, armed guards, and vigilant doorkeepers safeguarding the domain of Osiris, the deity presiding over the deceased. Legend holds that should a soul successfully pass through the realm of the god of death, it achieves immortality. The discovery of the Book of the Dead in 2012 was a monumental find, dating back approximately 4,000 years. Archaeologist Harco Willems unearthed it during excavations at one of King Mentuhotep II's tombs, situated atop a cliff near Deir el-Bahari. This site served as a prominent burial ground for rulers and governors during Egypt's Middle Kingdom, spanning from 2055 to 1650 BCE. The book was found inscribed on the coffin of a woman named Anu, with some fragments linked to Pharaoh Mentuhotep II, dating back to around 2010 BCE. The discovery indicates that these pieces are significantly older than other unearthed sections. In Egypt, another milestone in archaeology was achieved with the unearthing of a 4,300-year-old tomb in Cairo's Giza el-Muda. This tomb greatly expands our understanding of ancient Egyptian history and burial customs. Numerous findings emerged during the excavation, including 12 intricately carved figures found 2 feet underground within the burial chamber. Remarkably, one sculpture contained a remarkably intact mummy, a rare discovery among the few that have been found. Among the notable individuals interred at the site was Knumka, an inspector of officials and overseer of nobles who also served as a priest in the Pyramid of Unas, the second largest tomb. Another significant tomb belonged to Mary, the confidential advisor and aide to the king. Additionally, several unidentified individuals, including 2 unidentified couples, were also buried there. The burial complex is divided into 5 distinct sectors: Northern, Middle, Pyramid, Tati sector, Western Pyramid of Unas section, and Southern sector. Meanwhile, at the Saqqara Acropolis near Giza's renowned pyramids, researchers unearthed the funerary temple of Neith, an ancient Egyptian queen who was both the wife and daughter of King Tati, Egypt's first pharaoh of the 6th dynasty. She was believed to have died around 4,200 years ago and was laid to rest near the pyramids built by King Teti. This discovery was groundbreaking as it revealed that King Teti had more than 2 wives, including a previously unknown 3rd queen. Initially, the identity of the body in the temple was a mystery, but the crew found ancient texts that recorded her existence in the history of ancient Egypt. The team also unearthed over 22 burial shafts in the temple, which held more than 54 brightly painted coffins, 24 mummies, shabti figures, pots, stelae, and small wooden boats with carved sailors. Most of these wooden artifacts were estimated to be around 3,000 years old. Among the remarkable discoveries was a 13-foot-long scroll believed to be the Book of the Dead, found at the lost burial site of Queen Naite, one of King Teti's wives. One of the most significant relics discovered at the site was Chapter 17 of the Book of the Dead. This ancient text, written in hieroglyphics, described a spirit's journey to the afterlife. The owner of the scroll was identified as Paif, as mentioned on the tomb. Archaeologists discovered 4 statues with the same name at the site, along with wooden coffins surrounding the grave. After extensive research, it was found that these coffins and figures were meant to accompany Queen Nate in the afterlife. Interestingly, ancient Egypt seemed more familiar with the idea of alien life than we have previously understood. Some of their unique architectural structures are believed to have been built with the help of advanced beings. One of the most detailed records of such encounters is found in the Thule Papyrus, a document recounting sightings from the time of Pharaoh Thutmose III in 1440 BC. In 1933, Alberto Thule, the director of the Egyptian Vatican Museum, stumbled upon this long-lost evidence. The inscriptions were transcribed into hieroglyphs, which, when translated, described fiery discs hovering over Lower Egypt. These discs were described as headless, with precise measurements for length and width, and mouths that emitted no sound but had a terrible odor. The report stated that these fiery discs moved toward the king's palace, puzzling everyone until the scrolls were reviewed. Over several days, the blazing discs grew in size, eventually moving higher into the sky and closer to the sun by evening. This fascinating account, written in hieroglyphs and describing the strange phenomenon of headless fiery discs, adds a mysterious chapter to the history of Lower Egypt's skies. Unlike many others, Enoch's life offers clear insights into the positive outcomes and rewards that come to those who dedicate themselves to God. During his time on earth, Enoch served as God's messenger, bringing divine wisdom to people. Unlike ordinary humans, he did not face common experiences such as sorrow and death. Instead, Enoch was among the first to be welcomed into God's home, where he communicated with angels and glimpsed the future. Enoch never had to navigate the afterlife as most people do. He was a beacon of light, spreading vast knowledge to the world. His writings inspired prophets and apostles of Christ, and their messages continue to resonate today. Enoch's revelations have encouraged Christians in the modern era to rethink their ways of worship, deepening their faith and understanding of God. What are your thoughts about this horrifying message found in this ancient book from 5,000 years ago that speaks about the nature of human existence? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below.